Yo, what's up guys? It's Maverick here with another episode of the God of High School. So, we had a pretty chill episode in the last one where we learned about the struggles, I guess you could say, of our main protagonist groups and of Mori in particular, kind of like his early life and, his grandpa and all that. All nice and all, gives some backstory, but once again, it's just very, very condensed, right? And honestly, I feel that whatever resolution they come up with, it only really matters when you're on the battlefield and, you can actually think back to whatever it is that is driving you forward, right? So, I think in this one, we are going to see them back in action again. Don't forget, we still haven't seen Mori since they actually started the tournament, right? So, I'm expecting our main protagonist group to actually fight some battles in this time. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I mean, we got a little bit of plot and whatnot coming on, but yeah, it's not really that important. The fight's more important here. It's okay, Grandpa. I have friends now. Oh yeah, and at the end of last episode, we also, I guess, something important did happen, right? Where Mori learned that his grandpa has been taken away. Captured. Okay, so where's he headed to? Oh, okay. So they actually gave him a location, eh? So, it looks like we're going to be seeing his fighting prowess, although not in the actual tournament for this episode. Which makes sense as well. Hmm. I do have to kind of wonder, though. Like, how far are they actually going to make this story? And the reason I'm saying this is because I don't really think that this is something that can permeate throughout the entire series. And of course, I'm expecting Dewey and Mira to join him as well. After all, they're his friends, right? They're his dear friends. But honestly, I'm looking very forward to the commissioners. I want to see them fight. Curse cornered. Ooh. Huh. But Dai can't actually battle, right? Because he's suspended. So it has to be Mira first. Okay, I guess it might be a case where they're each fighting their own battle?
始の時点でリングの上になければ不先輩になるわ。先方と時報で西を取ってしまえれば勝ち抜けもできたのだけど、あなたたちの場合は。
Yeah, he's suspended.
時報戦開始までにジン・モリ君が間に合わなければ、その瞬間にあなたたちの敗北が決定。
So Mira's gonna have to drag it out as long as possible.
まずは一生取ってくれ。では
探してくる。必ず連れてくるから。あんま瞬殺しないでくれると助かるな。
考えとく。
ゴッド・オブ・ハイスクール準々決勝 A グループ第1試合、チェジュチーム対ソウルチーム。
あれ？
他のメンバーはどうしたのかしら。
確か一人は出場停止でしたよね。もう一人はジン・モリ君。
先鋒戦チェジュチームイ・マリン。
Lee Mari. You Mira.
月光圏継承者のユ・ミラさん、ずっと待っていましたよ。あなたと戦える時を。
レディーゴー。
Okay, who are you?
海で生まれ、海で育った奇跡の海坊主ことイ・マ
I mean, it's fine. He's covered his important parts.
あんま時間稼げそうにないわ。
What an obvious trap. Slippery. That's kind of funny. Oh hey, she can still hang on to him. Oh. Oh, suplex. Oh. Oh. You can do that? Oh. Huh. Who would have thought that this dude would be a sword user?
この剣の元の持ち主はどんな人だったんだろうって。男でしょうか、女でしょうか。とても使い込んでいたようです。毎日修行していたんでしょう。
Oh.
でもその人はちっとも気がついていなかったんですよ。
Huh.
本当の力。
Look at the yin yang. There.
何やってんだ。お前だってこんなとこで負けられないんだろ。
The bathroom?
おい。大丈夫か。
Ooh.
お兄ち
Okay, so it seems that they are each having some of their battles.
力を宿す。
Hung Sen. Hung Sen.
これほどの力をその手にしていながら、毎日厳しい修行を積み重ねながら、どうして気づけなかったのでしょう。
Is this guy actually a sword user?
手段もその手元にあった。なのにどうしてあなたは。
月光憲法第5番抜け。風柳。月光憲法第1番天弁。
Boom. Oof. My sword now.
私の剣。
と認めた者の手に自然と戻る。
Oh, damn.
それが本当の力です。残念です。本当に残念です。ユ・ミラさん、あなたにはその資格がない。ちっちゃん、しっかりしろってなあ、ちっちゃん、今ほどいてやるからな。もうちょっと
Is this actually his grandpa?
くそ、なんか
Yeah. Boom. Oh. Holy shit. I mean, I can get that it was a trap, but how did he blow himself up? Was that literally a suicide attack? Ah. Here's the, this is the, traitor, eh? Although, if a commissioner is the one doing this, does that mean that, you know, their team can get a pass? Because the commissioner was the one who was doing these stuff?
おとなしく死んでろって。ドッペルゲンガー。
私たちはあなたに期待していたのですよ。月光剣の継承者。必ずやこの剣を目覚めさせ、神の力をつかむものと。手に入れよ。神を
Oh. So it actually is a holy star. Alright.
その力を引き出すって。
けれど、あなたには
Oh.
何の力もなかった。本当に残念です。
Why would you not cut her in half at that instant? Now is not the time to be distracted, dude.
悪いが遊んでる暇はないんだ。大丈夫か？俺は平気だ。君たちはまだ試合中なんだろう。構わないでそっち。大丈夫だ。
What? What the fuck?
何やってんだ。またお前か。あっちそろそろ終わるぜ。いつも関係ないとこいんのな。お前。お前も勝手に消えるな。少しでも動いたらやられてた。
Okay, so is this guy just impersonating a commissioner? Is this like some kind of Matrix reference? This definitely feels very much like Matrix 3. Or 2, actually.
昔の話だな。老いぼれにはせいぜい最後まで俺たちの役に立ってもらうぜ。
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a sort of Matrix vibe from this. Neo and all the Agent Smiths. Huh? Oh shit.
見つかっちゃった。そうさ、こいつらが本物のチェジュチームの連中だよ。
Oh damn.
お前がやったのか。見られちまった以上、生きて返すわけにはいかねえ。なんてな。
I mean,
初めからそんな気。
yeah.
無理すんなよ。さっきの爆発をもろに食らったんだ。
I think you are about to get effed.
今から1時間、俺は何も感じない。よくよく教え
But only for the next hour though. He still remember, after that he still needs to get back here and fight.
何の資格もない。
Oof.
ただのバケイルです。そろそろ理解できましたね。ならば潔く諦めてギブアップなさい。
Huh. I kind of wonder if this organization is still trying to sort of awaken her power, right? Otherwise, why not just kill her right there? Or end the fight right here? I wonder if they're trying to actually, you know, awaken her so that she becomes the hand that can wield the sword of God. Oof. Yeah, see, they're not actually targeting her vitals.
決めたんだ。あいつらと前へ。私は
Moonlight transformation. Okay. Wasn't quite that cliche.
そうよ。私は弱い。だから強くなるの。そうしたいって私が決めたから。自分で。私は強くなる。あいつらに追いつく。こうやってやる。必ず。
Very well. I shall grant you the power of the moonlight. Oh. Whoa. Oh, is she awakening her chakra? No, not chakra, Chariok? Yeah, Chakuriki. Of course it's gotta be Lubu. I mean, it is Korean after all, so they're not actually going to use something from Japanese or periods. Okay, so she is the first one who awakens. By the way, that was never the type of sword that we used. Hmm? Wait, what? You got... Holy shit, you are fast! The fuck? That should be fine. They.
そうなのかなシャクリキ。そう、なのかな。まだあんまり実感ないけど。で、何があったの？俺にもよくわからないんだが。あいつのあんな怒った顔は
He's pissed.
初めて見た。ペイロンはどうした？
レディーゴー。
もう一度聞く。ペイロンはどうした？答えろ！
One punch.
これで終わりだ。
Oof. Oof. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Beat him up. Ooh. Ah. Okay. That was some pretty damn impressive animation there. Wait, what happened there? Did the first one miss him? Ah. Okay, okay. That was pretty good at the very end there. Anyways, see you guys after this. Okay, so we did get a little bit of razzle dazzle at the very end there, what with Mori having his original martial arts abilities and whatnot, and then of course we got Mira with her awakening, if you will, of Chakariku of Lubu. So I guess we can talk a little bit about Mori first. I definitely appreciate the ending animation there. I thought it was pretty cool using that sort of juxtaposition of the two fights and whatnot. And then, come on, it's a freaking dragon, right? So, you got one dragon, you got double dragon, and whatnot. So it's cool. And I definitely had, again, I'm more and more feeling that this series is going towards sort of like the Shaman King route, right? So we do see that the Chakariku, once you awaken it, it does manifest itself into some sort of avatar, right? Either some sort of spirit or something like that. So I do get a lot of Shaman King vibe from it. In the case of Mori, though, I don't really think that is actually his Chakariku yet. That's just, that's just him using his martial arts abilities. But I'm sure that in the end it will be awakened as well. And I'm still putting my bet, by the way, on the Monkey King Sun Wukong because of a previous. I think that was like what 3-4 episodes back when he was first eating that peach and whatnot, and then we saw some visions and so on and so forth. I do think he has some sort of legacy there with the Monkey King, and considering that we now know that Chakariku is manifested in this way, I think I'm pretty confident in saying that, if you will. And we also learn a little bit more about Mori's grandfather, right? So he was apparently fighting for the government, I would say, since they talk about him defeating the Death Squad of the North here. I'm assuming is meaning North Korea, and considering this is a Korean work, so it would only make sense for that. But for the rest, I don't really have too much to say about Mori's side. I just thought that the animation there was cool. Now, let's talk a bit more about Mira, right? So, first of all, I think I mentioned this already numerous times during the episode. I do think that they weren't actually trying to kill her, considering that, think about it, right? This is a group which had no qualms with killing other people. They wiped out the entire other group here, right? So obviously they're not trying to avoid killing her or something like that. And yet, if you notice closely, all the times when that muscle dude struck Mira, it was always it was always not on the vitals, right? He had so many times to really pierce through her abdomen, pierce through her neck or something like that, or really do very critical fatal damage, but no, it was always off to the side, right? Completely missing the vital points and whatnot, and there was numerous times when there were openings where he could use the sword and slash her, and yet it never happened. So what I'm thinking here is that they probably are still following their previous orders, which is to try and find a way to awaken Mira so that she can wield the sword, and so eventually they'll try to corrupt her and bring her to their side, because apparently the moonlight whatever saber sword and the sword that she has the capability to go up against gods, right? So that's what I'm choosing to believe now, or otherwise, the villains here are honestly way too incompetent and whatnot. So that's what I'm choosing to believe for now, that there is a bigger purpose for all this. But I think the thing that's most interesting about this one is definitely Mira and her awakened Chakuriku, right? And of course, it's got to be Lubu, or in this case, they actually even mentioned his honorary name as well, Fengxian, which is you don't normally see that quite often. So just to give a quick, just a little quick bit of trivia for those who might not be as well versed in Chinese culture and whatnot. So during that period of time, or actually for a long period of time in Chinese history, during when there were still emperors and all that. So I guess you could say all the way up to the modern age, people had two names. So of course you have the family name, right? That's a given. So in this case it's Lu, and then Bu would be your birth name, and Fengxian would be your sort of honorary name that you get once you become of age. It's sort of like an extension of your name. I don't really, just basically think of it as a birth name and given name. And I might have gotten it kind of mixed up. I'm not quite sure. I think Bu is the birth name, Fengxian is the given name. But don't quote me on that. I mean, you guys can just go to Wikipedia and look this up. But I did like how they sort of incorporated that in here. That's definitely something that you don't see a lot in media. And then also, they named the sword after Fengxian as well. That's definitely sort of pushing it a little bit. Lubu, even the legendary weapon that he supposedly used was never a sword. He was mostly well known for using a spear. And then, of course, due to some fantastical history and whatnot, particularly the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, they gave a name to his legendary weapon or whatnot. But in reality, he probably just used a normal spear, since that was the most sensible thing to do. And he was also quite well with bow and arrow as well. So that was what he was most known for. Definitely not his swordsmanship. All right, but I think the most funny thing to me out of all this actually is choosing Lubu in the first place. So first of all, obviously, because this is a Korean work and not a Japanese work, so Korean culture is influenced hugely by Chinese culture. I mean, Japanese as well, but for Korean, even more so because of the proximity issues and whatnot. So, I mean, if this was a Japanese work, I would assume they might be using someone like Miyamoto Musashi or Honda Tadakatsu instead, right? As sort of the legendary warrior, men among men, that kind of thing. So that's the first kind of funny thing to me. The second part is actually more of a deeper issue, and that is, I always find it quite funny whenever Lubu is actually considered, especially in the West, as some sort of legendary warrior, or as they mentioned here, some sort of great hero, right? And you gotta thank Japan for that, actually, particularly, for instance, the Dynasty Warrior series, or they also have a historical simulation series as well, dealing with the Three Kingdoms period, which really helped whitewash Lubu a lot. So people just think of him, oh, Lubu, he is this super awesome, absolute legendary warrior who's the strongest amongst all of them. And when in reality, his reputation was, let's just say, less than stellar for most of history. it's quite funny because so one of the most well-known accounts of the Three Kingdoms period would be an actually fictional story called Romance of the Three Kingdoms, of which the author really did not like Lu Bu at all, and really just portrayed him as a devious character who's also completely muscle and no brain at all, and also just a general all-around bad guy, right? But the thing here is that in reality it wasn't too far off. So obviously it wasn't as bad as the Romance of the Three Kingdoms portrayed him, but it's just he literally doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. That's what I'm trying to get at here. The Three Kingdoms period was a pretty long time, and Lu Bu his reign was like really short. And to be honest, he never really did anything of note. Okay, so he happened to be at the right place at the right time. He had ambition. He betrayed some of his lords in order to gain power and whatnot, and so he was quite close to a seat of power at that time. He was definitely a player on the world stage, right? But not as a primary player, as a secondary player. He was sort of like a secondary vassal to a lot of the main players of that time. And his legendary warrior prowess or whatnot, martial prowess. Sure, he had a reputation of being a very good warrior, but never so to the point where he was completely head and shoulders above everyone else. There were a lot of legendary and good warriors at that time, and Lu Bu was just but one of them. He definitely wasn't like standout from any of the rest of them. Most of that has been exaggerated sometimes within the Romance of the Three Kingdoms as well, and then also, like I said, due to the Japanese interpretation of Lu Bu and whatnot. I mean, it definitely makes for some good stories, I guess you could say, because of his sort of relationship with ladies and whatnot. He was a womanizer, if you will, very lustful. So let's just say that the actual historical facts and truth about him are less than stellar, and yet he still manages to become this sort of legendary character that's beloved by many. So that's just the entire sort of the funny part to me of all this, that no matter where you go, he's still one of the top dogs in fictional literature. But yeah, actually, did I mention this already, that the sword, he never was known for the sword. He was known more for spear and bow and arrow. So definitely him having a sword named after him, that doesn't really make much sense as well. But yeah. Anyways, but apparently that's what Miura's Chakawhachucallit is. Alrighty, I mean, if you want to go this way, it is fiction after all, right? You can do whatever the hell that you want. Anyways, that's it for the God of High School episode 9. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent on Lu Bu here, but I just feel like it's an interesting topic that honestly not that many people would really have a inner or deeper knowledge to. I'm kind of a historical nerd. I mean, I majored in that, and I do love the Three Kingdoms period as well. The historical version, right? Not the actual fictionalized version and whatnot. So to me, this is always a point of amusement, if you will. So hey, if you guys want to learn more about Lu Bu, feel free to ask. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next week as well. Bye-bye.